Good morning, everybody, from a very overcast Ireland this morning. Out early this morning at 7 o'clock, not too bad for a little morning walk. I always like to go for a morning walk before I go to work in the morning, stretch the legs, clear the head and all that sort of stuff. But my God, I just cannot get Leeds United out of my mind. What a season it has been, safe with 3 games to go. FA Cup semi-final, what a season it has been for Leeds United. But already, all my thoughts and all my attention is turning towards Leeds United's recruitment this summer. How big it is going to be for the football club to make sure that we get it right this summer and not repeat the mistakes of the past that we made. We know Leeds United's first season back in the Premier League under Marcelo Bielsa, in 9th place finished. We were all absolutely buzzing, weren't we? We all went into that summer thinking recruitment has to be good, push us on, and we could easily push for European football. And we didn't. We had a very, very poor summer window that put Marcelo Bielsa under extreme pressure and ultimately led to his downfall and Leeds United's ultimate relegation from the Premier League 2 seasons after that. But that summer was a massive summer for Leeds United, and I feel like this summer now that's coming up is very similar for Leeds United. And the 49ers, don't get me wrong, are a totally different kettle of fish from what Radrizzani, Orta Co were that summer. I thought we were very naive. We certainly didn't put our hand in our pocket and recruit well enough for Leeds United to push and kick on in the Premier League. And the saying goes in football, isn't it? When you stand still, you fall behind, and that's it now. Every other team in the Premier League that are safe will all be looking to kick on next summer. The promoted clubs are going to come in. It'd be interesting to see what sort of business they are going to do. And Leeds United have to keep moving. We can't stand still. We have to keep moving forward. And I genuinely think we do. With the 49ers, they're smooth operators. When you look back at the windows that we've had under the 49ers since they've came in last summer, you know, it was a little bit critical of the 49ers. I didn't think we'd done enough last summer. My God, have they proven us all wrong. 10 summer signings, I'd say probably 8 of them were a success, which is unbelievable. You know, you're not going to get every single signing right. The January window, thought we should have done a little bit more. Thought we should have went for a striker, left back cover for Gabby. And it turns out we didn't even need it. We brought Brennan Otte in, which, look, it hasn't been a great signing, but you're never going to get them right, are you? But my God, this summer for Leeds United is absolutely massive. And the good thing is now, we have a little bit of a head start, don't we? We obviously know from last week that Leeds United are safe in the Premier League. And there already would have been plans in place from the 49ers that they'd know what they'd want to do if they were going to stay up in the Premier League, where they're going to go. And it's massive. For me, probably the one criticism I have of the 49ers and the recruitment side of things is the outgoings. I think the outgoings from the 49ers haven't been great since they've come in. And that's probably down to, you know, contracts, offloading players that were on contracts, you know, that you probably shouldn't have been on. And if you sell them players, then you're working at a loss then, aren't you? So a lot of that does come into it, but there's a lot of dead wood in this Leeds United squad that they must certainly, absolutely certainly move on. Sorry, just let that pass. That they must certainly move on. And you're looking at the likes of Jack Harrison, you know, has to go in the summer. Leeds United just have to break free of that shackles. Max Vober as well, who jumps ship every time things seem to get hard at Leeds United. Isaac Smith is a player you forget about. Joe Gelhardt, you know, all these players, largely Ramazani, you know, what's going to happen with his future at the football clubs? Looks like, you know, he doesn't have a future at Leeds United. But there's also a few in this Leeds United squad that have been in and around it this season that you look at thinking it's a massive summer for them and what the Leeds United do. And I look at players like Willie Gnonto, who I love as a player, by the way, but hasn't played much at all this season. An inconsistent player, a player that probably frustrates me most how this Leeds United squad, because I know he has the talent, I know he can do it, and you know, might be out the fark, probably not playing him, you know, much, and probably should have picked him a little bit more through the season, but ultimately, you know, we don't really have a case there because Daniel Farke has kept up safe in the Premier League. So it's going to be interesting to see what happened with Willie Gnonto's future. I do think he probably will move on. You're looking at Joe Pereira as well, who has been an unbelievable signing for Leeds United. The 2 seasons in the Championship, what a goal scorer. Never would have got out of the Championship without Joe Pereira, by the way. So definitely a very important signing for me that goes under the radar. But obviously he hasn't played in the Premier League this season. It's definitely not in Daniel Farke's thoughts. Do think he has the ability to play in the Premier League. He's a good goal scorer, but probably not the physicality that you need in the Premier League. You know, we see that with the hustle and bustle up there with Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Lucas Meche. You need that in the Premier League, don't you? And I just don't think Joe Peru gives that to you. So it is an extremely interesting summer. Another one, of course, is going to be on everybody's lips, and it always one that divides debate, is Brendan Aronson. What happens with him? Had a lovely purple patch through the season. You know, around that Newcastle game away at St James's Park was brilliant. Against Manchester United was brilliant. And again, he's had his ups and downs this season, through the season. But let me know, what do you do with Brendan Aronson? Do you keep him part of this squad, bring in a player that will challenge his position a little bit and maybe force his hand a little bit? What do you do with Brendan Aronson? Or do you think it's time for Leeds United to cash in and move Brendan Aronson on? I'm torn on it, I really am. There's a part of me that I love his tenacity, love his work rate, I really do. I think he does emphasise everything it means to be Leeds United in that regard. At times his ability does let us down in the Premier League, so I wouldn't really be opposed if maybe Leeds United recruited a little bit better in that position and had Brendan Aronson as probably a backup. Sorry, just let this pass again. Loads of trucks passing me this morning. It's like they know I'm trying to make a video and chat to you guys. But yeah, about Brendan Aronson, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this summer, but that's one thing I'm praying for and hoping that the 49ers do this summer, is that the outgoings, we need to clear the books. There's players that have been here at Leeds United that you nearly forget. When I thought about Isaac Smith, you know, Largy Ramazani, Max Wober, these players that, you know, are still getting paid by Leeds United and just not playing. So that's massive. Obviously incomings as well. That's the exciting side of it. Who are Leeds United going to be signing? What's the new toys, the new players we're going to be bringing in to build around this squad is massive. Definitely think we need another striker, without a shadow of a doubt. I think we do. We certainly need another attacking player, as we spoke about. Brendan Aronson, I think we need a player to supplement him. Probably Noah Okafor as well, because he is a little bit injury prone, so I wouldn't like to kind of put my eggs in all that basket next season, just in case he does pick up any more injuries. Certainly need to be looking at that. Left back cover as well. We probably are going to need a couple in defence as well, aren't we? Obviously, you're probably looking at Sam Byram moving on as well. Like to see Sam Byram get a couple of minutes against Brighton on Sunday, you know, if the game state allows it, so the Leeds faithful can kind of give Sam Byram, you know, our best wishes and thank him for everything he's done at the football club as well. But one thing's for sure is this summer window for Leeds United is absolutely massive, and the 49ers certainly don't need me to tell them, because they're smooth operators. But it's just not repeat the same mistakes of the past. Do not do what Radrizzani, Orta and Kinnear done that second season going into the Premier League. We must build now, we must move forward, and genuinely, hand on heart, I do think we will. I do think Leeds United are in a brilliant place as a football club. The 49ers are driving us forward. The stadium expansion, safe in the Premier League our first season back. We've booked that trend of newly promoted sides coming up and going straight back down. An FA Cup semi-final. My God, we have so much to be excited about the future of Leeds United Football Club. And as I always do, I always put my neck out a little bit and put my head on the chopping block. I genuinely think this is the start of something special for Leeds United Football Club going forward. If we build on this, the way that the 49ers are, God knows where it's going to take us. But I want to know your thoughts. Let me know, what do you think Leeds United should do in the summer? What players should we be offloading? And what positions do we need to recruit in to make sure we can kick on again in the Premier League? Maybe push for Europe, who knows. Gonna finish my morning walk, go grab a coffee, go back, wake the kids up and do the school run. The life of a dad. So we leave it there. Thanks very much again actually to everybody. Meant to mention about the vlog as well for the Spurs game, me sitting in the Spurs end. It went down great with you guys, over 11,000 views, which is not known here on Leeds Bros. We've gained over 350 subscribers in the last month. Well, the start of the month would be the 14th of May. You know, the last 14 days, 300 subscribers. Wow, absolutely amazing. So just want to thank you guys so much, and all the newcomers to Leeds Bros, all the OGs that have been here from the very start. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. So we leave it there. Mind yourselves, mind each other. Catch you in the next one.